I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening. What? It opened a. It opened a second tab. All right, all right. I'm setting it up. I'm setting it up. Can you hear me? I hope you can hear me because I put a little bit of time into trying to get this to work. What is up? What is up? I'm. What is up? I've never done one of these before, at least not one. I guess recently, given that I don't use this YouTube channel very often. At one point, I tried to stream on Twitch because I thought that that would I don't know. I thought that that would be fun. I think I maybe got a total of 5 viewers at any point, so hopefully this will be better. I just got back from my parents' place actually. My dad has been getting himself into live streaming recently, which kind of got me into this. But he has this live stream where he live 3D prints like 3D models he found, and he's getting into like nerd culture, which is really funny because he's like a 40-year-old dude who has like not ever been into this stuff. In fact, as a child, he often called it gay. So it's really funny seeing my dad get into like Pokemon and One Piece and Dragon Ball at the ripe old age of 50 years old. Uh, it's gonna be just a couple more minutes before I properly start. I'm just still setting up a couple things since I've never done this before. YouTube Studio has given me some encoding tips, so I will be back as soon as I can be.
You, ha, get up. You, ha, get up. 走った曲がったそこら中駆け巡ってみた回した回った手当たり次第に転がしたくっつけた組み込んだいろんなものをゲットしたはカモン避けてみた逃げてみた勢い余って飛んでみたよゲラ押してみた引いてみた力の限り投げてみたぶつかった弾かれたものすごい衝撃が走ったゴールは果てしなく遠かった進むことをやめなかったいつまでも転がし続けた人として大きく成長したいろんなことに気がついたみんなが一つになった笑顔が街にあふれくだらない悪意が影を潜めたチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこいイエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこいカモンチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこいイエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこいカモンチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこいイエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこいカモンチゲだファンキーだみんな黙って俺についてこいイエチゲだファンキーだみんな必死で俺についてこいカモン
Oh, hello, it's me again. I'm just about got it set up. It's been about 15 minutes. I am actually going to get this game up now. If you'll give me just 1 second. In the meantime, even though there's no one here right now, I'm gonna keep talking as if somebody were. Uh, I I found this game off of Twitter, and I bought it during the Steam sale that recently went on. And I am hoping that everything gets set up without a hitch. Oh, there we go. Alright, just getting the final bit set up here. It's really, why is it tiny? What? Okay, why is it silent? Oh. Hold on, let me resize this to be correct. And there we go. Also gonna move this over to my next monitor. And there we go. The game should be running at this point. Let me just... Sorry. I'm not exactly a pro at this, so you're gonna have to give me a second. Wait, where'd my game go? Where'd my juice go? You can also die. Alright, so this is Parking Garage Rally Circuit. It's a very Sega-like arcade racing game. It's pretty recent. I think it came out last year. It's got some DLC, but right now I'm just trying to sneak myself into getting gold cups on all of the tracks. So I'm gonna do that. Alright. Wait, edit colors? Can I... Oh, looks like this game actually got an update since I last played it, so I guess I can make it better. Hold on. Let's try this. And secondary color. Accept. Wow, that looks like... Dude, I'm driving the Poop Mobile. Yes, dude. Alright. Let's play it. I believe this is the one I've been struggling with. I'm just trying to get gold, and I already screwed up. It's got the Mario Kart thing. Alright. So as you can see, it's kind of like a halfway point between a Mario Kart and like a traditional like Sega racer. So it doesn't like control realistically like something like Daytona USA, but it does have a little more give than something like Mario Kart. It's kind of a halfway. What do you mean reset? What? I didn't miss that. Now I gotta start over. So you're already seeing my issues very quickly. So yeah, before the stream technically started, I was talking about how I was actually kind of spurred on by my father getting into live streaming. Recently he got a 3D printer and has just been streaming himself. Okay, yes. He's been getting into live streaming recently because he got this 3D printer and has just been 3D printing like Pokemon and stuff and like other just general nerd crap. And it's really funny because I'm watching my 40-year-old father have to deal with like con culture. I know all you little crafters who go to cons have been complaining about these 3D printed dragons. And it's so funny hearing oh my god, it's so funny hearing my father get equally as upset over this sort of thing. But he's been printing out like these Piccolo from Dragon Ball and Goku and Luffy from One Piece, and it's really interesting because Luffy is such a good character design, and Piccolo, that he is becoming endeared to these. Okay, he's becoming endeared. Okay, yep, mm-hmm. He's becoming endeared to these characters. That he, for my entire childhood, referred to as gay, and it's really funny. He's also been getting into Pokemon cards, which is awesome. When I was a kid, I was kind of into Pokemon. I got X and Y I specifically got Y for Christmas. And, I mean, I liked it. I more liked it because I didn't play any RPGs that didn't have Mario in them, and so seeing one that was kind of made more sense as to why you were doing turn-based combat was specifically very interesting to me. But I really fell off once I got older. I remember I specifically at one point tried to get into the cards, and immediately got like I don't know the terms for this, but like it was like a shiny textured Gengar card. And since I didn't have anything to chase after, since I got a cool enough card, I already didn't want to buy any more cards. And then I tried to go to like a local tournament at my library, and it was all adults who made me feel weird for being a child into this game, so I never touched it again. It was woof. It was rough. Hold on. Uh-oh. Accidentally joined a Discord live stream, since I'm prepping for MagFest, which I'm also going to be going to as my, like, first con as an adult. When I was a kid, my parents took me to Comic-Con in Denver, because that's where I lived at the time. And this was, like, during peak Super Hulock territory. So, I just remember being, like, 10 and meeting, like, 12 different iterations of the Doctor, and then walking around, like, a musty-ass convention center. I think that's the first time I ever saw a furry before, and clearly it had some sort of effect on me. I watched a little Doctor Who as a kid. I specifically remember watching the episode with the skin man, or the skin woman, who was like just the big plate of skin on a wall. And it just was like, oh, missed me. I remember this. And I don't remember anything else aside from that. Oh, and my stepmother having a Doctor Who's t-shirt. And that's the extent of my knowledge on Doctor Who. Oh, and that new episode from like last year that had the animation stuff, but like, of course I like that because it's animation stuff. I don't even know if it's technically a good episode. I've never watched it. I have, however, watched a bit of Supernatural, and by that I meant I watched the first episode of it, which, in case you didn't know, it's kind of bad. I think it sets up the series poorly. I couldn't even focus on it when I was a kid because the girl who gets like trapped to the ceiling, I think it was one of the main character's brothers, was wearing a Smurfs shirt, and it literally was like so distracting that I couldn't actually get into the damn show. And then all the acting was like standard CW acting, which meant that I didn't care about it. Now, Arrow, I got into Arrow because I was a little DC freak and thought that Young Justice was the coolest shit ever. So seeing that, but instead it's Oliver Quinn. That was awesome, even though he was basically just Batman again. I'm just saying a bunch of BS back-to-back that I don't know if anyone necessarily cares about, but I don't know, I think it was interesting. I think another reason I couldn't specifically get into Supernatural is because the only friend I had who was into that was this, well, I guess dude. I forget about that. The last day of high school, they came out to me as like a trans dude. So I haven't talked to them since then because I don't live in that state anymore. Also, boom. I didn't keep up with any of my high school people, but they were the only person into that stuff, and they were one of those like Dan and Phil shippers. And I've never been more mad in my life that I could that they were correct. Shipping real people ended up being correct. That's fucked up. You should never do that. Why did they get vindicated? I remember there was specifically like some like fan song channel who made like a Dan and Phil ship song. Oh, yo, Icy Meyer, my goat. What is up? I didn't expect to see you here. And yes, I did do it. Anyways, there was this, Dan and Phil fan song, and I specifically remember hearing the lyric, "Don't hide from us what you can all clearly see," or something like that. It was dumb as hell. I think that guy also made like a Septiplier song. Why? I I don't remember. Oh my god. I gotta restart that one. That was terrible. I've never been more upset at a specific community getting vindicated. I feel like I missed out as a child by not. I feel like I was the only like person who was like a theater kid who didn't use Tumblr. I only got like the scraps from YouTube and DeviantArt, which can kind of explain the way I am. I specifically remember like hearing all the stuff about the Dear Evan Hansen musical. I said that like it isn't a musical already. Dear Evan Hansen the musical versus Dear Evan Hansen the man. And I was so confused because I watched a shitty YouTube bootleg recording, and it was like the worst musical I had ever seen in my life. I feel like I was a theater kid, but I didn't get blasted with like the same propaganda as everyone around me. I didn't watch Guys and Dolls. I don't care for Wicked. I'm like, come on. I didn't even have anything to do with that. That just failed on its own. That sucks. Anyways, I don't care for Wicked. I don't care for Dear Evan Hansen. I really hate Be More Chill. That musical sucks. And the book. I really tried to. So it happened again. And I don't get it. I've been trying to watch old like Showtune stuff, but all I've really watched so far has been Mary Poppins, which, as good as that movie is, I don't think it really counts. Basically what I'm saying is I have to get gayer from my musical theater experience. I'll never be able to break in at this rate. Not that I want to. I don't think I'm built for that lifestyle. I hear all my theater friends like talking about, because I did keep up with a few people from high school, but more out of obligation. I never got like any of the other people's phone numbers or Discord or anything. Oh my god. Wait, I can make this work. Ugh. I might be able to just barely make this. I kept up with a couple of them, and some of them are on Broadway. I think one of them is like in the current run of the SpongeBob musical, though don't quote me on that. And it's really interesting to me because all of these people seem like they just want to kill themselves and make their own one-man show. I guess it's like the theater kid equivalent to like watching Digital Circus and wanting to make that yourself. I don't know. I feel like I gotta get into that world though, because that's where all the cool people live. I'm trying to think of any other like musicals I've watched recently. I mean, I guess K-pop Demon Hunters counts, but I'm not like the biggest fan of that. I more respect it on principle of being a thing for kids that isn't like evil huggy wuggy poppy playtime inflation videos. I can't speak on that. I'm basically I'm animating Catnap for $800 a month. That's a made up metric. Don't, if you know what I'm talking about, don't go spreading that because that's just wrong on every regard. Also, boom. Also, boom, by the way. Also, boom, by the way. Ugh. I am going to MagFest later this week. In fact, I just made some business cards to try and get some animation work since I know all those little nerdcore creeps are going to be there. I call them creeps as if they don't make up like half of my personal YouTube playlists, but I want to get on one of those rap battle channels that does like animated stuff. Like Eddie FRB, those little creatures who make stuff like that are making real shit. Also, this song has lyrics, get ready for it. Wait, where is it? By the way, Carol, if you're still in chat, can you let me know what the audio is like? Is the game and my voice good? Because I genuinely don't know what good is. Woo! Uh-oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Wait, this might be... Am I still in first? Nope. Trying to think. I have a bunch of people in my life right now who watched Marty Supreme, and every plot synopsis I've gotten of it sounds like a completely different movie. So I don't like know what... Audio is a little quiet overall. Hold on. I don't know if I can turn my voice up anymore. Let's see. Let's see. Hold on, let's see. I'm gonna turn my voice up 3 decibels and we'll run with that for a minute. There we go. Uh-oh. Thank you, my goat. My goat, I'm the goat. Oh! I'm trying to think. I'm also excited for MagFest because of the Siva Gunner rave they hold every year. I've been a huge Siva Gunner nut for a minute. Working on this big stupid video essay about them right now, but they hold this awesome rave at MagFest every year. That's just like basically a bunch of their channel in-jokes, but palatable to the layman. In addition to, they're holding like video game Jeopardy, or I think it's like video game Rip Jeopardy, so I think it might be an entirely Siva Gunner themed Jeopardy thing, which that sounds very fun. But I'm also going to be speaking at a panel with the rest of the Wrecked crew who is going. So obviously, Wrecked himself, one of our voice actors, Cyan, Corey Beepington, who made that awesome series about Ace the Living TV, and the short film Pretty Kitty that was also pretty damn good. Really love the animation on that. And one of our panel artists, Fossil. I think that's everyone who's going. I might be missing someone else. In fact, I know I am. Oh, another one of our panel artists, Chili. And we're going to be doing a presentation about nerdcore. So if you're one of the 3 people watching this who also happens to be going to MagFest, check that out. I'm trying to meet up with as many people as I can, given that I'm a baby in this internet animation sphere. I actually got like business cards printed out. I think I already said this, but I got business cards printed out to hand a bunch of people. And I think they came out pretty good. In fact, if I can nail this right now, I'll pop my cards up on stream in a second here. Actually, no, I won't, because that has my legal name on it, and I only put it on the card because that's a real thing. Oh my goat ale. Next year, dude. Next year we're going to Mag. This is just the trial run. We're just seeing what we need to do to actually make that a viable thing. Next year, we'll be going, I promise you. In fact, I think everybody in our little circle ought to go to Mag at least one point. There's a little something for everyone. Icy Meyer. It's funny. I don't know if it's okay to use your real name, so I'm just gonna use your stream name. It's Jamie Page is going, and I'm definitely gonna try and hunt her down so I can shove a business card in her face. Especially after I animated the static thing, and I know for a fact she's seen my work. Oh right, I forgot that you're trying to get in with the Siva Gunner people. Cravings don't sleep. Satisfy late night cravings with favorites from Zaxby's and more nearby spots. Sorry, I just got a notification from DoorDash. Ale, you already know if I need I'm gonna find an excuse to get a background artist. I'll get your ass on that. Or a painter. I'll do what I can. Though I don't think walking up to some lady I barely know. I only know she's seen my stuff because Tom had to send the music video for confirmation. My mic's still quiet. Hold on. Alright, let me turn down desktop audio. Give me just 1 second here. And let's see if I can up my mic quality a little more. I'm gonna put it up another 3 decibels. Ah, shoot. It only lets me go above 0 by slowly messing on a little pointer thing on here. I am an inexperienced little beast. Alright. I know you were joking, but I obviously want my art buddies to succeed as much as they can. I will let you know, I think both of us might have a little opportunity coming up from somebody we both work with. Not being specific, but there is a project that I was made aware of last night that might be a little lucrative thing for the both of us. I say lucrative, but I'm also I genuinely think it's a good idea. I'll definitely message you after stream about it, because, you know. Oh, well, oops. Also, of course, I'm gonna try and, like every indie artist these days, I'm slowly burning on my pilot in the background. Today I actually got a bit of it done that I've been kind of messing around with for a minute, where the 2 main characters meet. And I think that it is very interesting, though it was made aware to me after talking this out with my buddy Tom, about indie pilot garbage, that almost every pilot these days is now trying to be Digital Circus, with character gets trapped in a world, and has to get out to the real world, but they don't remember something. And mine is hitting half of that. So that's worrying. Hold on, let me just make a quick little change right here. Awesome. Yeah, you totally should pick up this game. I think it's still on Steam sale right now. It's relatively short. I think it's only got about 8 tracks in it, but it's got 3 different car types that control very differently. So it's worth the price, especially for the $5 on Steam sale. And then there's also a DLC for like a European circuit that I think it doubles the track length that is also on sale right now. I'm just kind of using the stream as a reason to justify maybe buying that later and doing a part 2 to this, basically, where I can do that blind since I've been playing this in my meantime. This game has really nice feeling controls. I feel like a lot of games that do the Mario Kart drifting thing. Oh, well. The Mario Kart drifting thing very poorly do that. So when I say that this game feels good, I mean it. It feels good to control. It's not a slouch by any means. Hold on. I'm trying to think of other MagFest stuff to talk about. Oh, somebody's doing a Donkey Kong Country TV show sing-along. Unfortunately, they're not doing any of the, like, actually good songs. They're doing, like, all the like, meme ones, which obviously they would, because nobody knows any of the songs from the Donkey Kong Country cartoon. But there's, like, I want to say it's with that show's iteration of Funky Kong, who is white. There's a song where Donkey Kong gets turned into a ghost and he goes like, "Oh no, no, what's happened to me?" And it's like genuinely a banger, and nobody ever thinks about it. Or the one where Cranky Kong's like, "I'm gonna be a average James Dean or Mr. Bean. I'm gonna be a smash, spending all of my ding dong dang cold cash," or something like that. Everyone knows the terrible songs that suck butt because they're terrible and suck butt. But it's got like a Sonic Underground thing where they've got like 5 or 6 like true bangers in the show. Speaking of Sonic Underground, woof. Sonic Underground's first episode has this like stupid. So every episode of Sonic Underground has a song because they're a traveling band for some reason. I know the reason, but it's not relevant. They have a fun little song where they all sing and their hearts become connected, and they like look off into the bright future, and it's genuinely one of the most like it is an earworm, and I'm not gonna say that the song is good, but it's an earworm. Hold on. Oh. There's no way in hell this is under copyright. I'm gonna turn the music of this game off for a second and play that. Hold on. I like that menu. That made that quick. Hold on. Sonic Underground somewhere. What? Hold on. To me every night. I love the Steve Urkel girl voice. It's so funny. Jaleel White. Why? Everywhere. Somewhere we are gonna be together, living in the light forever. We'll be together someday. Living in the light of love. And I drifted the wrong direction. We'll be together someday. Wait. Someday we're gonna be together. Life will be so much better. This song enters my brain so often. It's actually ridiculous. Anyways, I think you get the idea. I think I got the general gist across, but my favorite fact about Sonic Underground is how by episode 4 they've already ran out of ideas. Wait, the music's super quiet, hold on. Alright, that sounds more correct. By the second episode, they're already doing like a breakup plot. They get transported to an alternate dimension where like Manic, the green one, is like perceived to be like the Messiah. I think this dimension is set up by Robotnik, by the way. And they find like their baby cradles there for some reason, and he's like, "Don't you see? This is where we're meant to be." And then he sings a song about how he's gonna abandon his brothers he met like 4 days ago because he met a baby cradle. And then the Australian character with a British accent, Dingo, who is like this show's grounder. he starts BSing about how, like, "Oh, we finally got him." Oh, damn, I'm still sick, so my voice is kind of fried, so if it sounds a little jank, that's why. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my. That. I don't want to talk about that. That sucked. Hold on. Alright. Sonic Underground was like my childhood show, which sucks because I have nostalgia for the worst show ever made. I think it's really funny how there was like going to be a follow-up in the Archie comics where they explain why Sonic had a brother and sister and then why we never saw them again. And it just never got published, but I think you can find like the scans online for the plot. And then they used Sonic Underground fan art on accident in Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed, but only the Wii version. Because I think they caught it beforehand. I know it's garbage, but like, I don't know, I see kids who are like nostalgic for like the Frieza saga in Dragon Ball, and I'm like, yeah, what do you know about like Manic abandoning his family? You don't even know real shows. What the hell is a Vegeta? Hop on Manic the Hedgehog, buddy. No, but Billy Hatcher is awesome. It's like it's like, what if Katamari Damacy was a platformer, and instead of collecting things, you had to avoid everything. So really, it's nothing like Katamari, but whatever. Touch My Katamari Boy. What an awesome name for a video game. I just realized how the boost system in this game works, and I don't know how it, how I didn't notice. But instead of it being like Mario Kart, where your boost lasts for one specific time, you actually, like, are building up a meter, and you can tell, by the color of your trail behind you. Oh, my bad. I forget that Billy Hatcher is in that game. Honestly, I didn't really like Sonic Racing Transformed that much, because it sucked and it wasn't fun to play. Meanwhile, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds, they were like, what if we made Sonic Transformed and it was peak? Uh-oh. Hold on. I'm not dumb! As I run across the world. Isn't like Rystar the flag girl in Transformed? Uh-oh. Okay. I guess I just, like, have a very low tolerance for Mario Kart clones. Like, I feel like there's I've never played one that really, tickled my fancy, so to speak. They all just felt like Mario Kart, but if it was bad. Except for Crash Team Racing, but I wasn't smart enough to play that one. One day I'll try Crash Team Racing again, since it seems to be a very fun game. Okay. Hold on, I can make this work. Hold on. I think I just hit that. Ooh. Ah! That's true, Billy Hatcher. I'm hoping one of those game devs that makes shitty essentially remakes of games they liked as a kid makes their own Billy Hatcher. Can the Roland Rascal devs make a new Billy Hatcher game, please? Just call it... Okay. Just call it Rollin' Billy or some BS. Uh-oh. Okay. I am just not doing hot right now. My dad tonight asked me the very dreaded question, should I watch One Piece? It's just, I think it's shaken to me to my core how much my father, who is the biggest anime hater of all time, is starting to care about this stuff solely because he thinks that Piccolo looks cool. And you know, I get it, but it's just, I'm not used to that. I'm not used to him understanding this shit. And... whatever. Oh, hold on. Hit this shit. Oh! Hold on now. Just gonna check a quick YouTube analytics thing. Alright. Out of curiosity, does the stream look fine? I can't tell on my end because it's just looking crystal clear, but I cannot tell what the actual stream looks like. Alright. Okay. Instant fail. Epic fail, if you will. I'm just using base OBS right now because every streamer I've ever met says that Streamlabs is the most evil thing on earth. But I still want to figure out how to get, like, the subscriber pop-ups on screen when that shit happens. Okay, I'm glad that the stream is working. I know in the past when I had my old Twitch account, it looked like poopy dick butt, so I'm glad it looks good. I want to get those pop-ups, but I always worry about installing plugins because every time I've done that, it feels like it just stabs a knife through my computer. This is why I don't use Fruity Loops, because to make that thing functional, you have to download 12 different plugins. Oh, okay, yep, no, okay. It's kind of interesting how OBS kind of, like, instantly became the standard just because it's A, free, and B, doesn't work like ass. Though I suppose I am not as stooped in streamer culture to, know that shit. Hold on, lock in. I'm not done. Trying to think. Oh, Magfest also has like a bunch of rhythm games at its arcade section this year that I'm very excited to try out. I haven't had a chance to touch up on the Beat Block demo yet, so I'm probably gonna try that there. Oh, I barely made that. I have to beat this car out for the entire first lap, or else I don't win. That is true. OBS kind of saved my ass for the video essay shit I was doing. Ugh. You know what I think is very interesting is Fiona and Cake. I know this is like a bit of a tangent, but that is such a fascinating show to make. A half, like, it kind of has the same feeling as like 10 years ago when Hollywood was doing all those movies that were half remakes, half sequels to like classic franchises. It's like that in Cartoon Network nostalgia form, because it does kind of retell a lot of Finn's story in Adventure Time, but it also does very much follow up on everything they were doing with Fiona. I don't know, it's a very interesting show, and also has 10,000 Cheers references. And my buddy Ale has me stuck watching Cheers right now because it's awesome. And so that made me big smile. Though they did my boy Norm dirty. It makes me so sad that nobody could match his pure aura. Woo! Hold on. I'm locking in right now. Oh, no. What do you mean press Y to reset? Oh, I still might be able to beat the pace car. Oh no, I can see him. I did say cheers, Ale. I did say cheers. I do... Ale, I want you to know, I've been getting young Shelton clips forced on me from Twitter, and I feel like I need to watch it because every clip I've seen is, unfortunately, some of the funniest shit I've ever seen, and it makes it... I promise you it pains me to say that about young Sheldon as much as it does for you to hear it, but it's the truth. It looks really funny, and I don't want that to be true because it is literally the sitcom equivalent to Muppet Babies. And I hate Muppet Babies. I am stuck on this damn... Okay. No, it's fine. I can still win. No, I can still win this. No. Oh my Oh my god. Oh, I'm so mad. I've not seen Good. It seems like it has like a completely different writing style to Big Bang Theory than I have watched bits and pieces of and didn't like. So that's kind of what surprised me. Oh. Woo. Hold on. Oh, I'm locking in. Oh, I'm locking in. Oh, I'm parking garaging it. Okay. Hold on. If I didn't have to hit those rings, that would be awesome. Hold on, if I didn't have to hit those rings, that would have been an awesome clip, unfortunately. I guess I'm not very well versed in sitcoms, since growing up, all I really had was King of Queens, which I don't remember if I thought was funny or not. I just thought that, what's his name, the dad on that show, Mustache Man, looked funny. And following that, I had Seinfeld, which I did think was funny, but I only thought it was funny because I thought it was funny that George was fat. Which I don't know why I didn't think Kevin James was funny for being fat either then, so maybe there's some math I'm doing wrong here. But I like Norm from Cheers because he's fat, so I have to do the math better. I have to discover what makes these characters awesome. Regardless, I do think that I need to kind of rewatch Seinfeld because I need to remember if it's actually funny or not, or if it was just the first comedy show I'd ever seen that wasn't made for 12 years old. I think I was just taken aback that they were allowed to use the phrase Nazi comedically without it seeming ham-fisted like a lot of other stuff I saw my parents watching. And there was also a funny George Frogger reference. Oh no. Oh no, I'm being beaten out by... I'm being beaten off by the gold car. Oh no. Ugh. I do think that, hold on, locking in. I do think it's interesting to, I don't know. I've been trying to get into, like, a lot of classic comedians, but I feel like watching their new stuff doesn't work entirely because, like, all these comedians are old and have too much money, so don't have to experience any inconvenience in their life outside of their agents, so all their comedy is, like, about being comedians. It's like when you watch a cartoon that's just about making cartoons, but from somebody who's only succeeded, so it's very disinteresting. Or somebody who has no experience because they're young. But Seinfeld is about that, but also not about that at all. Oh, I haven't watched any of Always Sunny, but I've seen so many hilarious clips. I know I've got to get to it. Oh! And I know our goat Greyfruit keeps trying to push Nirvana the band, the show, down our throats. So I think I should watch that before the movie comes out. Which also really funny for there to be a Nirvana the band, the show movie. But I want to. I've also never watched Brooklyn Nine-Nine solely because I think that every little woke person has told me not to watch it because it's police propaganda. But also, like, hold on. Oh. Wait, hold on. You see that? All gold. All gold. I've won. Ugh. That feels... Ooh, that's good. Alright, what's stream time sitting at right now? I've been going for about an hour. I think I will still try to do the rest of the heavyweight car, because that one's a bit harder to control. Oh, well, if it has funny fat guys, I've gotta watch it. I don't like this color. Let's see. Ooh, that's it. Wait, there's gotta be... Ah, no, it's gotta be this one, because it looks so good on the white. Ooh, that's beautiful. Yes, dude. Alright. Let's see. I did get gold on that one, so who's to say? Maybe I'm just bonkers at this shit. Hold on. Oof. Yes, dude. Yes, dude. Yes, dude. So Jake Neutron is doing a show at MagFest. He is going to be doing it at 2 a.m. on the day I arrive. So I'm going to be leaving early in the morning, drive for like 10 hours. That's an exaggerated. Drive for like 7 hours. Pick up the people I'm bunking with from the wrecked crew. And then I'm going to have to check into the con, get all of our stuff for the panel set up, and then literally I'm going to be at a convention for a solid 12 hours before that, and I have to go to that because, like, I feel like I have to because Jake is the only reason I kind of know how to use Animate. And also, he has this fun tennis song, where it's a call and response, and I think seeing that live will be very fun. Okay. I also hope to meet I just wanna I wanna talk shop with so many artists there. I'm thinking of buying a cheap notebook and having a bunch of artists like write down 1-sentence pitches for their pilots, since all of us have our stupid pilots now that we're all working on independently. And I think it would be very fun to get as many of them as I can and just like keep a tally or an eye on all these people. I don't know, it's so hard to find new people that aren't like just mooching off the success of like come on, that aren't just mooching off the success of like the Has-Been Hotel crowd or the Digital Circus crowd, and those are the only two crowds. Oh, and the BFDI crowd, my bad. And I think that I just want to see if there's like any trends, see like what the general thought process behind everyone is. I want to work with more people this year if I can. Luckily, since this is a January con, and it's all artists pretty much, it seems like it's a good place to actually look for more animation work, since all the YouTubers are concepting their videos for the next year right now and are looking for help, and then all the industry people who are there. I mean, January's hiring time, as you pointed out to me, Ale, and I just hope I can get my name in there, you know? I know there's like 12,000 people there or whatever. That's probably an exaggeration, though it did sell out almost overnight. ugh, I don't know. I'm just really thinking about MagFest since it's kind of my next big thing coming up here. I always forget their name. The plush person, Sock. I know their name is Sock, but I forget. Thimbles Thread. I want to drop by their Artist Alley booth simply because I saw on Twitter they have like 10 dozen Star Walker plushes that are the funniest shit ever to me. I can't believe you'd allow that in your house. And so I want to get one of those. Tom made me aware that there's going to be a massive sales area for like old retro games, and come on, you know I'm about that life. I'm about that retro game life. I'm gonna quickly type a thing. Woohoo! I really do just want to like talk to as many artists as I can there, though. I feel like it's impossible for me to talk with artists online, since the only real way to do that is either already be in a Discord that's existed for 10 years or be in a fandom, and you know how adverse I am to both of those things! Next year, buddy. I know you're going with the Siva Gunner creeps. I don't know why I'm calling them creeps. Yeah, but you're like in a place where you have the best thrift stores I've ever seen. You're getting damn Half-Life on the PC boxed in. You're doing all right for yourself. Keep in mind, all these prices are gonna be very inflated at the con. By the way, I just hit that shit. All these prices are going to be very inflated at the con, so it's probably best you buy them there, especially with your weak-ass Canadian dollar. You'd be paying $100 for Robot on PS2. Robots. I should totally stream some of my shitty PS2 games. I've seen exactly one clip of the Robots PS2 game. It's ridiculous. Although I only have the cheap ass conversion cables, so I'll probably stick exclusively to like PC and Switch 2 games, since those ones need very little. Oh my god, very little messing with. What am I saying, bro? Ooh, that was a bad drip. Alright, trying to think. Oh my god, this game is killing me, man. So yeah, I'm not a huge I don't watch a ton of streamers, and I don't live stream a whole lot, so I'm still trying to figure out if everything I'm doing right here is necessarily good for streaming, but live and learn, I suppose. I don't see a lot of people who set up their stream like I do unless they are like big streamers. Everyone left FaZe Clan? I thought some of the people were in that. Also, I don't care about FaZe Clan, so I said that like that ruined my life. Everybody left FaZe Clan? No. Oh my god. Oh my god. Now is our chance. We can go to the FaZe Clan Totino's Sea of Thieves Totino's training room. Fortnite training room. Fuck. I think, actually, I just realized why I think I want to, ow. I think I'm gonna do more streaming because it gives me, it forces me to stay with one specific game for a long enough time that I can actually make judgment on it. I think I might stream more of my retro games if I can. That way I can have an excuse to play through my plethora of games. Tom did say he was bringing me a very specific game for the Super Nintendo that's cheap as hell at MagFest. It's a game I already own, but apparently the Super Nintendo version is extremely strange. But I will, I guess, keep that in my back pocket. Gotta create some sort of intrigue. That's all I have right now is intrigue. Ah! I did want to figure out how to make one of those fancy schmancy oh my god, what are they called? PNG tubers? I don't know the terminology. Where they animate like little GIFs for the speaking. But I don't know how to do that with my Sona since it's got the whole like Sonic side mouth thing going on, and I can't do like any of the good mouth flaps that actually look good. Oh, I can beat this rock. Yes! I've also been thinking of maybe I should format these streams for mobile, since it seems like mobile streaming does really, like, vertical streams do really well, but I don't know if I'm able to keep up with that crowd since they are much more attention deficit. Ah! At some point, I might put on different music in the background, since I know the general public hates ska. I don't know. I actually don't understand why everybody seems to hate ska so much. It's like the better alternative to like regular punk rock, I think. The music. Like, it's just punk rock with like a thicker tapestry of sounds to use, in my opinion, in my humble opinion. It has a lot more energy. It has brass, and I love brass in my music. I don't get it. I don't get why you little creeps hate this shit. You're always talking about how nostalgic Tony Hawk is, but then pretend the music don't exist. You're crazy. Ah! That being said, hearing the same probably is driving somebody insane. Oh, lock in. Oh, lock in. Oh, lock in. Oh, right. Crap. Oh, what is the... Okay. Well. Oh, and I missed the damn gate. That's true, but I don't know if my computer could handle 2 consecutive streams at the same time. I don't know, though. My dad streams 2 versions of his mobile live streams. One from his phone that does way better, and then one from his computer that gets no views. So maybe the play is finding a way to route this through my phone for mobile. I guess it has something to do with the encoding. It gives them priority or something. I don't know. I'm doing this mostly for fun, but I don't know. What the fuck? Was that like a brake check? What the hell was that? Oh, I'm going too damn fast! Oh, come on. That hurt. I watched One Piece movie 6. What a weirdly easy to get into bleh. What a bleh. Oh my god, I can't speak. I watched One Piece Movie 6, and then learned a bit of a... There's an OBS splitter app. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. I've got an... Are you fucking kidding me? I've got an, old-ass phone that I don't think would work on, since I can't download any app made in the modern age. But I might have to look into something like that. I know that there is a way to dual stream on YouTube, I just haven't figured it out. Like, it's built into the YouTube, YouTube Studio app, but I haven't, put any effort into figuring out how that works. Also, after this run, I'm gonna take a quick break to use the bathroom and get some water. And then after that, I will return in the... Okay, after this one. Because that stupid boulder got in my way. I also just realized my license plate says Godot. I didn't know Godot could make games that were like this. I know it's like a good engine or whatever, but I just assumed that all their 3D games were like fucking Star Fox, original Star Fox, SNES Star Fox. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, ah! Alright, so here's what's gonna happen. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I will be back in one moment. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. La 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 la. Anyways, what do you know about this game? I'm probably gonna go for maybe 30 minutes, maybe another hour if I get in the groove of the game. But yes, I'm back. I'm back. I had a nice, delicious drink of water. I sat here and composed my thoughts about the. I don't know. I'm just saying bullshit, bro. Anyways, this is what kind of fucking awesome is this? Ah! I'm gonna stop trying to go that way, I'm realizing. So, the Amazing Digital Circus. I know, that's what we're all thinking about these days. But I genuinely have been thinking about it a lot, like, mostly on how it was bred in a lab to be the best performing YouTube show ever made. Like, I think that I think it's very interesting that almost everything in the intro was like just a bunch of bullshit they made up in the first episode, and it only came back in the 7th episode just to be a bunch of bullshit again. Oh no, I'm gonna do it again. Oh, I hit that one. Like like all the Cain and Abel bullshit. I think it's really funny to just set that all up and then immediately shit on it, and then within the series as if that wasn't specifically what that stuff was made for. Oh, oh. I think that my big theory I've been thinking about, I don't think that Pomni is a human. That's my big theory. Apparently there's a YouTube video of somebody else saying that, but I have not watched it. But I think that it actually kind of makes sense because, I don't know, I think that the fact that there's like almost, she almost purely exists as a vehicle for the other characters to get wrapped up in certain stories. I think the big twist is that either her or Jax are going to be revealed to be one of the like intelligent NPCs that they keep bringing up. But I don't know. I think it's very flimsy, but I also think just like the fact that she doesn't really express any interest, like her only interest is, oh, I've got to get out of this amazing digital circus. Like I think it's a big test from our favorite little buddy Cain from the Amazing Digital Circus. Now it makes sense that like that's her main motivation, but like it seems like everything she stated about her backstory was only for the sake of that one episode, and none of it has ever come up about her real life. Meanwhile, characters like Ragatha and Zubul have talked about their lives outside of the circus floor, and maybe it's partially because this show seems to just be giving every character an episode, and we just haven't gotten to Pomni's yet. But like, even outside of their designated episodes, it seems that a lot of the characters have been able to I don't know, at least touch on their past outside of Jax, but that's an on-purpose thing. I genuinely think that I don't know, I have my little hunch, because I don't think it's something people would expect, but it feels very in line with how the series has done twists before. Although it might be a bit too late for a twist like that, so that's really my only thing, is I don't know how natural that would fit into the story at this point, since it kind of seems like after the last episode all the chips have been put on the table. The only reason I say that is because Jax seems to isolate all the other characters, but doesn't seem to actually care about Pomni, the individual, only Pomni as a story element, and I think that kind of fits with my little pet theory here. But who knows? Who knows? My theory is that the Amazing Digital Circus will end, and Glitch Productions will make a third of the money they used to. Even though Gaslight District looks like a marginally more polished show. I'm not going to say more interesting, because I think that's just up to what kind of stories you like. But it definitely appeals to me a whole lot more than Digital Circus. I think that's a big problem in the indie animation sphere, is a lot of the stuff that's popular currently is only popular due to the spectacle of, wow, look, something that doesn't suck ass. But once all these people get together and start making good shit, it's gonna be less of a spectacle and instead just a very bog standard medium like anything else. That being said, holy shit, I just hit that shit. I think that's true, but I don't know if Goose wants to do another show. I think they've stated that they have other show ideas, but I don't think they've stated if they want it to be picked up by someone. Honestly, like, if I was in Gooseworks' position and based on just how they've acted in the past, I didn't need to restart that. I wouldn't be surprised if Gooseworks just went back to making hold on, did I already get the gold on this one? I did. Boom, I'm already halfway done. It's you now. Oh, it's this damn level. Just based on how Gooseworks has acted in the past, I would not at all be surprised if the next move was to just focus on her original YouTube channel for a little bit. Because, I mean, after Digital Circus, anything that Gooseworks makes is going to make $10 million. Gooseworks has kind of become, in a way, the Toby Fox of indie animation. VivziePop is the fucking guy who made Braid. That's not true at all. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about real people like their characters. I shouldn't do that. But I think that whatever Gooseworks makes next will definitely be insanely... Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Will be insanely profitable just based on what they make. And the fact that they have 12 million children now who know the name Gooseworks. I think if Glitch is smart, they'll pick up Max G's next show. Oh my god. What was that game they showed off at the Game Awards where it was like, this is from the most legendary developer of all time, Jonathan Blow, and it showed like the most basic sliding tile puzzle game. I guess it was open world, which is kind of interesting. God, the Homestuck pilot. I think it's really interesting because the only thing I've seen the Homestuck pilot do is make a bunch of people like realize that there is a story to Homestuck and that it's not a bunch of dumb, stupid bullshit. And it just kind of revived the comics fandom instead of the show. And I think that's really funny. I mean, hey, it got me to... It didn't get me to read the comic. I forgot I read it beforehand. But in anticipation, I read the first 2 acts of Homestuck, and I was pleasantly surprised at how actually digestible it was. Whereas the pilot is the most, like, fucking incomprehensible mess I've ever seen. Episode 2... I like that there's been no word on if it got picked up, but, like, of course it did. It's gonna be profitable for everyone involved, no matter what they make. But, like, I think it's really funny how we haven't gotten a single word on it outside of, like, a U2's. I think if you own the John Egbert U2's, you become fucking a corrupt human soul. You no longer are allowed to live. I don't make the, okay, yep, okay. I think I can still get the gold on this, but ooh, it's not gonna be pretty. Uh-oh, I see the gold card catching up. Homestuck is like one of those shows that, or one of those things that, like, you kind of need a motivator. I think a lot of people who got into it, solely got into it because a lot of other people were into it and they just kind of wanted to understand what was going on. Are you kidding me? Jesus Christ. I don't know. I think about the Homestuck pilot a lot because it is a pretty direct translation of the comic, but I think that's what makes it bad, is that the comic only works because it is specifically a digital forum-based thing, and it has the pacing. It has very specific pacing that doesn't really work unless you force the reader to acknowledge every single action. So the pilot just has characters fucking running around like stupid-ass Smiling Fred's background characters doing just a bunch of bullshit that's never explained. And then it doesn't... I don't know, I feel like my personal opinion is that the pilot should have been like a 40, maybe even like a movie-length episode going through all 4 of the kids, because I think that kind of would be the best way to endear you while also kind of keeping the narrative mirroring that the comic has. But I don't know. I know that's a bit of a big ask, but also Vivzy Pop and fucking Spindlehorse have 10 trillion Amazon bucks. They could definitely do that and also make $1 billion YouTube ad revenue dollars in there. I don't know. I think that it's just a very fascinating... It is a very fascinating example of why direct translation doesn't always work for comics. Sometimes you get a movie like 300 where it's just a bunch of cool-ass dudes. Ah! Come on, get up, get up, get up. You can still win this. Or it's just a bunch of cool-ass dudes doing a bunch of cool-ass things. I don't know. Getting off the topic of Homestuck because I'm not 12 anymore. God, I gotta stop getting on my Homestuck shit. I know it's short for pitches, but if I'm a studio executive and you're showing me that bullshit, I don't know, it doesn't feel like you're... It doesn't feel like it's a pitch for the company. It feels like it's a pitch for the audience to get invested in now. If you're putting your pitch on YouTube, that's kind of what it is. I know they're probably pitching it to like Amazon and Netflix or whatever, but also it hinges on them getting a fandom. And like, obviously you have the latent Homestuck fans, but they have their fingers in their own stuff, so you kind of gotta attract a new young audience who will buy a John Egbert shirt and not be completely embarrassed of themselves. Which the average age group for a Homestuck fan these days would be very embarrassed to have the fucking Carcat or whatever the hell his name is on it. Like, I'd be embarrassed to be wearing a fucking Undertale shirt, and that's my, like, second, third favorite game of all time. I think it's just, I think it's a very bad misread of what their fandom is. I think Has-Been worked because it was the first pilot of their type to not suck ass. I think that's kind of what sets the Glitch pilots aside from a lot of other stuff. The new Glitch pilots, their old stuff, woof. Not to disparage anyone who worked on it, but like those, they're clearly made by people who are... the word that's coming to mind is amateur, but I don't mean that disparagingly because obviously I'm an amateur as well. But it's clearly made by people who are inexperienced in the actual field, and it's good that they got the chance to learn more before they got an enormous hit on their hands. Meanwhile, Vivian made one failed pilot and then one pilot that it was pretty much the exact same kind of deal. Not the exact same. It does have more growth from the... what is it called? My brain is it's saying zoophilia, but that feels incorrect. It does have a clear growth from that, but it's also... It has the same kind of story structure and same kind of comedy and same kind of beats, to the point that it's you're kind of working with the less knowing. I don't know. I'm trying to be very well spoken here. Also, I think that the key to me doing well at this game is to be talking about animation, because I care about that shit. Oh, thank God, I already did that. Oh, I'm back in the fucking building again. I don't know. It's why you never want your first project to blow up, because then you're stuck with that forever. Unless you're Toby Fox, then you kind of hit that shit. But even Toby Fox had to make fucking Earthbound Halloween hack before making Undertale. I don't know. It's I'm making a big talk, so 15 years from now when I'm putting out my 15 years from now, 2 years from now when I'm putting out my own indie pilot, there's a lot of good clips for people to clip farm and post online of me making fun of these bigger artists to start drama. See, that's how you do it. You get people invested in the drama. Obviously joking. I don't believe anything I say because I'm a... Hold on. Oh, I'm locking in. Oh, lock in. No, no, no. Oh, my first project is very public and I can't take it down because it's attached to a school email. Maybe one day I'll show it to all my little buddies, but for now, nope. It's why I think shows like BFDI don't work, because they're built off the first project that did extremely... I guess technically there are other projects that, what are their names? Michael and Carrie made, but they're like... They're still technically connected, and they keep trying to bring them back in earnest without any, true modification outside of being under the guise of being more adults, I suppose. I don't know. I can't get into storytelling that relies on a character that goes, "Oh no, everything, Pencil, why are you doing this to me?" You ain't getting me invested in the plight of a golf ball. I'm sorry. Oof. That being said, I'm being very rude, but I think just the fact that any of these projects made it to fucking completion in any way is enough of an accomplishment of its own, and the only things I've brought to completion are like fandom work, so obviously anyone in the industry has way more say than I do on what's good and bad. Also, I am losing this damn race right now. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Oh, come on. Hold on. No. Oh, come on. Oh my god. Oh my god. Ugh. The only indie pilot I think it truly is like... I guess there's two, is the George R. Gutierrez, El Guapo and the Narco Vampires. I believe that's its name. That one was done very clearly, not as big of a scale as stuff like Digital Circus or Has-Been Hotel or Murder Drones or any of these bigger series. But it was done extremely... It did exactly what it needed to, and all the storytelling, all the beats hit exactly how they were supposed to. And then Lackadaisy, and I think a lot of that one is spectacle, because I don't think that story would really work as just... I don't think I would be sold on that nearly as much if it was just a... Oh my god. I don't think it'd be sold nearly as much of that without all the spectacle, and it also... It has a very different pacing to a lot of these indie shows. Other than that, I don't think... Other than those two, I don't think any of these shows... And you know what? Has-Been had a fantastic pilot, and I mean that. It perfectly set up what the series was at least initially supposed to be, while also endearing you to all the characters you were supposed to like absolutely flawlessly. It's just a shame that the series didn't really follow through with that same power that the pilot did. But that's neither here nor there. No, what What did I miss? I thought I hit that shit. And I didn't. Oh. That makes me so sad. Alright, let me take a quick check on this. It's looking like I'm about to hit 2 hours. I think the plan is going to be I am going to finish what I have left on this specific race, and then I think I'll call it for the night. So let's do that. I only speak so strongly on indie animation just because I think that it has become, when people say that, they think more of a fandom than they think of like the actual independent animation sphere and industry, so to speak. Like it's more than just trying to make the next Digital Circus. It's trying to make the next good show, and I think a lot of people stooped in this sort of world kind of don't really see it as such. They just see it as wanting a fandom or wanting success rather than wanting a good product on the market out of passion for the medium or having a story to tell or something. It's more of a passion for talking about theories and such. La 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 la. But who's to say? I'm fucking 2 years out from even having anything to show for what I'm yapping my ass off about. So let's if you're watching this, clip this, and 2 years from now you can wave this in my face for how I'm a hypocrite and I'm making fucking Daft Peanut pilot. I was very surprised at how much Ellis Marks group really pulled together the what's it called? Growing Up? I can't remember. I don't remember the name of his show because I'm fucking 12 years old. I'm very surprised at how well the second episode was able to come together in comparison to a lot of the problems the first had. I still think the pacing was like way too fast for my taste, but I also think it was done much better. I also found out a lot of latent people who worked on the Paul Rudish Mickey Mouse shorts ended up working on that, and Wander Over Yonder. So that's why it looks fucking fantastic, apparently. And I think it really shows that at least some of these creators are willing to better their skills. Like I really didn't like the first episode of I'm just gonna keep calling it the Ellis Marks show because I can't remember the actual name. I'm very much happy to see they were able to pull together a much better show on the second go around. Very, very interesting. And then there's what's the name of it? The like one where it's about like fucking millennial baristas or whatever. That one, woof. That did not feel good to me. It really felt disjointed. I should stop making these comments. But I have such strong feelings on them that, I don't know. I don't mean any harm to the... Didn't mean any harm. I don't even, like, mean anything rude to the people I am speaking about their products to. I just think that, those are my opinions on the series they're creating. I wish everyone... Are you fucking kidding? You saw that, right? I'm fucking ping-ponged over it. I just think that these are my very strong opinions on the series, and I am excited and hopeful that a lot of them can be more for me than, oh my god, good for me than anything I've seen before. I don't know. Sue me. Do it. Sue me. I'm talking to you, Gooseworks. Send your fucking legal team after me. Bankrupt me for the hell of it. That's true. That really is true. The one thing I will say is I think a lot of the animation has been steadily improving with every single one of these shows. Obviously, Digital Circus, you watch episode 1 and you watch episode 7, night and day difference for quality-wise. Unfortunately, I'm just such a strongly opinionated person that I think that I truly do see no harm in saying I don't particularly care for something like Has-Been or the Barista show. I can't even remember its name because it's I truly believe that I'm not commenting on like any individual's work in my brain because I think that a lot of these are group efforts, and if I'm saying something necessarily negative in this oh my god, and I might still be able to hold on, I might be able to just barely edge this one out. I'm saying more that I think that the product is not to my taste, not that any of the individuals working on it are necessarily poor artists or anything. I mean, if I'm saying that would be stupid, obviously, because I am nowhere near the best artist. You can look at my work from pretty much any point, and it is flawed to hell and back. But I just find myself thinking about this a lot since it's an industry I care much for, and I see a lot of other people either blindly praising things they like, or what the hell, or completely just shitting on it, despite its specifically well done aspects. I'll leave it at that because I won't shut up. But yeah. Fuck it, I've got a little more time. I might as well do this final race here.
Ready, set, go!
That is the... I don't know. I also don't know anything about 3D animation, so I don't really speak to the quality of animation on any of these like major 3D productions. And I know that shit can get expensive fast if you're not... Yes, we have so many different outlets for animators that were like almost non-existent in the past. And like, as much as I am talking negatively in a way, I think that like even some of the worst stuff coming out now, I think it's a lot better that it exists and exists publicly. And is able to get money, because it just allows more things to exist. Industry animation is set to a certain standard, but some of those standards are not necessarily the ones I care about the most. Like, I see a lot of smaller pilots now kind of not attempt to even do proper lip sync instead of doing more anime styled lip flaps. Is that what they called? Mouth flaps, lip flaps, where they just kind of move their mouth and audio comes out. And I think that it's a lot better to focus on making the story good. There was some pilot I watched recently. It was like about like an alien, an astronaut or something, and it was fantastic. You can tell how much I think that based on the fact that I can't remember its name. yeah, in a world where more voices are heard, the gatekeepers control a lot. But I think in recent years I've also become a lot more understanding of why I think gatekeepers are important to certain communities. Entirely just because I think that there is a sort of, there's a lot of grifters, and that's why you don't see, like, even though Mr. Beast has this wildly successful cartoon, and I'm sure it gave a lot of animators work, you don't see a lot of people really touting it because it's not something for the general animation community. It's just for it's for kids who like Mr. Beast. I don't know. It's for a completely different group of people, but I also think Mr. Beast was genuinely trying to target that indie animation crowd with Beast Lab. And obviously it failed because I haven't seen any gay fan art of Panthar getting his back blown out yet, which is the standard for this ordeal. Yeah, I personally, like, obviously I have my qualms because it makes it harder for the little guys to succeed with the gatekeepers, but I think it's very important that we have an open dialogue about, like, even from the creators to be able to talk about the industry. I think and a lot of people take it as, like, drama and beef, but I think that the best of any community, the best communities allow an open dialogue even of the creators themselves to a certain degree to be a successful community. I think a lot about, like, comedy or the hip-hop community back in the day, where you were kind of allowed to oh wait, this actually might be it. Oh, hold on. Can I hold on? This might be it. A lot of these people had major beef with each other, and there were like massive gatekeepers and institutions you were kind of forced to put yourself through, be it certain comedy schools to get the right connections, or just not being a vulture in, like, olden rap communities. But I think it's good to be able to have, like, those internal conversations with each other, not only just because obviously I want better products to exist and I want to be able to talk with the creators in some way, but I also want, I don't know, it's having that interpersonal relationship, fucking high school drama chart, is to a degree important for an industry. It allows for more conversation on the products and the shows and everything, to be a bit more. It allows. I don't know. I don't even really know what I'm trying to say. It allows for a more. It allows for people to get connected with the people around them. And while, like, obviously you want to keep a positive experience, there is a level of negativity to any production. Like, I think that the negative aspects are just as important to speak about with the people within these communities, so everybody at least has an idea of what bad things are standard and what bad things are unneeded. Like, I'm speaking on this through, like, about animation specifically, but I know there's, like, I've been listening to a lot of comedians recently. There was, I think it was, or comedians or theater people, you kind of had to go through UKG in the past to get any sort of work, just because every single agency was like, you've got to have this credit or we're not even going to consider you. And it's a good thing that that was taken away. But at the same time, it gave all these people in the industry a common base to work together on. I don't know. It's always just give and take. I'm kind of mixing like 3 different conversations at this point, but it's just because I really enjoy speaking about animation and the people working in it, because it is an industry I care about, and I think it's you shouldn't get sacrificed if you say that maybe certain independent studios are overworking their employees or are failing to meet a level of quality that helps. Exactly, you have to live in California, New York, or France to make a good animation, or be a part of the Nightmare Japan industry. And I think that the switch to independent animation being kind of dominant in at least our circles is a lot better, even if the product can sometimes be lesser, just because it allows more people to express their joy for this thing. And then when something truly... I think we're seeing a major power dynamic shift in the industry. Like, obviously, it's stupid to think that all these companies haven't noticed how big the internet is. That's why fucking Adult Swim just takes short films from the internet and airs them, and conversely gives them a platform on their YouTube channel, and both ways are successful in their own unique way. And fucking people from other countries are able to get a much wider audience now that, for the most part, the internet isn't segregated by what language you speak. I think that it's good that I can see a lot more, what is it? There was some Latin pilot that I honestly didn't like all too much, but I think it's good that I was able to see that. Or like, there's this guy from India that I've been following, his name's John something, who's working on their own pilot, and I'm able to just like see that instead of having to watch some local station in that area, and this guy can make it on the cheap instead of having to go through this whatever their respective institution is. And like, obviously you're supposed to go to CalArts if you want to work at Disney. You're supposed to go to SCAD if you want to really succeed in the independent animation world, but like, I don't know. I think it's good that people who are not necessarily as what's the word? As trained as the average person are able to succeed if they just have a really good idea. Like, I joked about Digital Circus being bred in a lab to be the most successful show on YouTube, but it's also a show that had a really good concept that I don't think a network executive would ever go for. I don't know. I think about this stuff a lot, and I'm kind of stepping over my words because I'm trying to get it out fast so that I'm not leaving a bunch of big stream silence breaks. But I don't know. I think things are better now, but I do hope that a lot of people kind of start consuming things outside the internet, so to speak. And that's that. I'll stop talking about this now, just because I'm sure nobody wants to hear about a fucking this fucking chud's opinion on Digital Circus for the 15th time. So I will say, this game is awesome. I've been able to just like lock in just because this game has really nice controls. In fact, I'm willing to say Mario Kart World had a more of a physics-based ordeal. Like when you get hit, your car gets flunged and gets flung, and the physics determine how long you're down for. And I think that this game does it a lot better, where your drift kind of anchors you to the ground instead of you just being at the whims of gravity. But if you get too overzealous in the air, your entire car loses its grip. I'm sure this is very standard for other racing games, but the fact that this game is very clearly directly inspired by Mario Kart, it's just something I noticed. Ugh. My favorite independent animation show is Happy Wheels, the series. With Captain Sparkles on voice acting. Oof. I want to play Minecraft Story Mode because I don't remember what its plot is at all outside of the Minecraft YouTuber episode. I want to play episode 1 and 2 at some point, just because I don't remember anything that happens episode 1 and 2. Season 1 and 2. I think it's really interesting how nobody seems to remember Season 2 exists. I don't know, it's funny how there was a sequel that nobody is aware of, and it's impossible to play. Dispatch is my favorite indie animated series. I think, you know what, I think the fact that I lost that race is a sign that, and the sign is that I need to be done. That's right. I am going to quit for the time being. Maybe, oh, ignore that. Maybe at some point I can come back to this game, or maybe do something else. I don't know. I don't know this shit. I'm not a part of this life. I'm leaving. Bye.